Hello, guys. Thanks for joining today's session. Before we proceed with the demo session, we'll give you a quick background about myself. I'm Satya. I've been working in this analytics industry for the last 15 years. My capacities ranging from designing data models, dashboard and report development, and also to develop and deploy machine learning and deep learning models on cloud. During my stint with various engagements, I got an opportunity to involve in the complete life cycle of many business intelligence as well as data science projects. I worked across various industries including healthcare, banking, life science, retail, big box giants. Importantly, I worked extensively in retail e-commerce domain to solve whole gamut of problems in supply chain, forecasting, assortment planning, so on and so forth. Presently, I work as a lead data scientist in a US based leading big box retailer in Bangalore. That is pretty much about me. In this demo session, we will see what is business intelligence is all about, because if you say you are a Power BI developer or senior developer, then you should know what is business intelligence is all about. Also, we will see what is Power BI and why Power BI, why not other tools such as Tableau, ClickSense and so on. Next, we will take a look at various components of Power BI. Followed by this, we'll run a quick demo in Power BI. This is just to give a sense of how to work with Power BI. Last but not the least, we will review the salaries and job opportunities for the Power BI developers, Power BI senior developers, or business intelligence managers, so on and so forth. Now, let us see what is business intelligence all about. Business intelligence is an umbrella term. Business intelligence tools such as Power BI, Tableau, and the processes allow end users to identify actionable information from data. In simple terms, as part of business intelligence, we take the raw data and we clean the raw data, and also we convert the raw data into more meaningful data and store this meaningful or the processed data into a centralized location so that the processed data can be consumed by the report developers. In the case of business intelligence, there are two important tasks that will be carried out in general. One is ETL, other one is reporting part. ETL stands for extract, transform and load. Once you extract the data and transform the data in the required format, and if you load it in the centralized place such as data warehouse or so, the next task is the reporting. Using the reporting tool, we consume this processed data from the data warehouse or so. With this processed data, using the BA tools like Power BI or Tableau or MicroStrategy and various others Power Business Intelligence tool, we develop a dashboard, reports, scorecards, and with these scorecards, dashboard, we derive the actionable insights. With this actionable insights, we can help the organizations to make strategic, tactical, and operational business decisions at the right time. That is what that is what business intelligence is all about. Which all companies that use business intelligence? You take any company, almost all the organizations, they made business intelligence as part of their DNA. So Loto.com, they are using business intelligence. One of their key objective was increase the revenue. Unfortunately, they were posing problems with a lot of abandoned carts. What do you mean by abandoned carts? Customers, they add the products to the cart in their website, but they don't check out the items whatever they added to the cart. This was the pain for the Lotte.com employee for the company, Lotte.com company. So what they did, they took the data and they did a lot of analysis using the BA tools. After they did the analysis, they got to know that the cost for abandoned cart was the longer checkout time, and also the shipment cost. Since the shipment cost was way too high, customers, they are not okay to do the checkout. Another important reason is the checkout process took longer time. Since they got to know this, with the help of the BA tools, by analyzing the dashboard and reports, they were able to make the course correction at the right time by by speaking to their payment gateway service provider. They made sure that the checkout process was on time. It was not taking longer time. And similarly, Amazon, they uses business intelligence tool to personalize their product recommendation. In Walmart, they uses the business intelligence tool to understand how online behavior influences online and in-store activity. This is just a tip of the iceberg. Many companies, they use business intelligence in order to maintain an edge over the rivalry companies. As I discussed, using the BA tools, we develop dashboards, scorecards, and reports also. So this dashboard, what is a dashboard? Dashboard gives a typical dashboard is typically represent a high level view of organization. It keeps the executives from having to thumb through hundreds of reports and data elements. So when it gives an at a glance view of what is happening currently in the business. So these are called KPIs: profit, revenue, units sold, discounts, sale price, gross sales. These are the KPIs for a specific department in a company. Let's say in a company, if you have 5 to 8 departments are there, each department has its own KPIs. For example, in the case of finance department, they have their own KPIs like profit, revenue, and operating margin, and also expenses, plus other KPIs like the cash in hand. These are the KPIs they wanted to monitor it. So what do you mean by KPI? KPIs are nothing but the metrics. Using the metrics, they want to measure how well they are doing, the company is doing it. And also, the companies, we can generate a scorecard using this tool. What exactly scorecard is all about? How it is different from dashboard? You might be asking this question. The scorecard is a type of a report. It measures and compares your performance against your projections and goals. It evaluates the success and failure of your efforts based on KPIs. So now the question is, why these scorecards? With scorecards, business can evaluate their goals and directions and determine if they're on track. So the dashboards are made up of multiple report types, allowing users to easily compare and contrast different reports or access diverse data sets within one business intelligence environment. So you can have the scorecard also as part of your dashboard. Apart from the KPIs, these charts or visuals can give a quick insight about where they do well, where they are not do well. For example, in the case of segment wise units sold, if you look at this chart, it is pretty much easier to understand in which segment the company's business is really good. So the government segment contributes the revenue like anything, okay? And also when you look at the discounts by product, let's assume that this company sells 6 products. And if you look at this, the Paseo product, we have given more discount. And the next highest discount was with Velo, and the third one is VTT. Interestingly, when you look at the profit by product, we could see that Payasio's contribution to the profit is very high. That is because of the discounts we have given it. But when you look at this one, Velo, though the discounts were given more compared to VTT, but the profit is not so high compared to VTT. So what could be the reason? The next action is take a drill down and see why the profit is less, though we have given more discount to this product. Okay, so now by going deep of the data or drilling down the data, if we know the root cause for this, we will try to take some course correction. The one reason could be, okay, though we have given more discount, the profit is less because these products are not so popular in the market. Though we have given more discount, the profitability is not good. Again, we need to see the next thing which comes to our mind is, okay, this is profitability. What is the revenue we generated, or how much sales we made it as part of this one? That is another report, right? So when you take a look at that report, you will get to know exactly why the sale was not, or profit contribution is not good here. One reason could be, though we spent more, we have given more discount on this product, maybe the scale could be more, but the profitability is less. The margin may not be good. Maybe the packing material which you are using it to these products are very expensive, or the raw materials cost was much higher. The profit margin is very less. That could also be the another reason. Likewise, when you look at the dashboard, you will get interesting insight. And again, we have something called slicer here. So when you select the specific product in a specific country and a specific segment, you can look at the refreshed data in this one. You don't have to write a separate report. By selecting this thing, you will get to know. This charts will get refreshed automatically, and also this is called your tabular chart. And here you can see you have 3 buttons. When you select different buttons, it automatically displays the year-on-year overview view and month-on-month view and quarter-on-quarter view. When you look at the year-on-year view, you will get to know, okay, in America 2014 we are doing good, and 2015 why it is a negative margin. And also it gives us a quick insight about the revenue versus sale by month. And what exactly Power BI is all about? Power BI is a business intelligence tool. It is also called as the self-serviced business intelligence tool. So what do you mean by self-service? With the Power BI tool, anybody can generate the dashboard, anybody can generate the report or scorecard. It doesn't require in-depth technical knowledge. So that is the beauty of Power BI. With Power BI tool, you can do data transformation, you can generate reports or dashboards, and also you can deploy the dashboards on cloud. Now the question is, why Power BI? Why not other tools like Tableau, ClickSense, MicroStrategy and other tools? Why Power BI? Because the cost is much cheaper compared to other BI tools in the market. Power BI costs just $10 per user per month when it comes to Power BI Pro software. But if you download Power BI desktop, it is free. It's kind of a open source. You don't have to pay any single penny to download and install it. You can use it for any duration. And also it is a self-service solution. As I discussed a while back, you don't have to have too much of our in-depth technical knowledge to generate the reports or dashboard. And the number of features supported by Power BI is very good. Here you can use many visuals, lot of charts you can use it, and also 1200 1000, 1200 functions are available, built-in functions are available. With that you can do data transformation and so on, and data connectivity is also superior here. So you can you can schedule the data refresh on your report, and also the job opportunities are very promising. When you look at the Gartner's quadrant here, the magic quadrant, Microsoft Power BI is in the leaders quadrant. So they are the one now dominating the market, and they are the leading player in this BI tool market. Tableau comes next, and the next one is ClickView, and TIBCO and ThoughtSpot. These are the various other Yellowfin, other reporting tools. But Power BI is really very hot now in the market. This is a quick architecture of the Power BI tool. Let's say you receive data in the form of Excel and SQL Server, and you receive the data from the Salesforce CRM tool and from the cloud, okay, and also from cloud you are getting the data. Let's say Azure cloud, you have SQL database, you are getting the data, and what you do is you combine all the data and you pre-process the data and store it in a desirable format in a centralized location, or you can process or clean the data, and then you can generate a dashboard or reports and publish it on Power BI service on cloud. Power BI service is nothing but the cloud. You can deploy your dashboard or report on cloud. Once you deploy it, and when you share the dashboards and reports to the appropriate stakeholders, irrespective of the location where they live or whatever the devices that they use it, they can access your dashboard or reports. Not only publishing the reports or dashboards on cloud is sufficient. So these reports and dashboards should be, or the data in the reports or dashboards should be refreshed periodically. So that is where the Power BI gateway is very much helpful. Using Power BI gateway, we can automatically schedule the data refresh on your reports and dashboards. Power BI components are Power Query, Power View, and Power BI Desktop. This Power BI Desktop, it encompasses Power Query, Power View, and Power Pivot. The Power BI website is nothing but the cloud service. You can deploy, once you develop the report or dashboard in your desktop, you can deploy it on cloud with the help of Power BI service. And Power Map, as the name suggests, we can use the map visuals. And Power Q&A is one of the interesting feature that is available in Power BI. Using Power Q&A, we can ask questions to get the response in the form of charts or so. The Power BI tool is powered by artificial intelligence, and also you can install the Power BI on your mobile phone. So these are the tools that you can, these are the website URL wherein you can download the softwares in order to start learn the Power BI tool. And when it comes to salary and job opportunities, the job opportunities are pretty promising. And Exaver was recruiting close to 20 students almost 2 weeks back. And also Cognizant and Accenture, their salaries more or less same. Whatever the salary offered by them was more or less same. But Tech Mahindra's salary is unmatchable. They pay the salary like anything. And especially in Bangalore, the salary is very high. And even with 3-year experience guys, 3 or 3.5 year experience people, they are getting close to 7.5 to 8 lakhs per annum. And again, the salary is depends on your experience and your experience, and also your past or current organization salary. And also it depends on your skill set. If you have multiple skill set, Power BI, and if you know Tableau, if you know SSIS and SSRS, and SQL query, if you know very well, then you can demand more. And obviously the organization will also give more salary on par with your skill sets. The course fee and duration, the duration is going to be 2 months, and it is an online training program. Every day night between 9 to 10:30 p.m. the training will be there. the training will be happening via the Zoom, and the course fee is 11,999. It is the discounted fee. It inclusive of GST. It inclusive of GST. Now let us take a look at how to develop a simple dashboard using Power BI. So this is just to give you a sense of how you can work with Power BI, and also it will help you to understand how simple it is to develop a dashboard using Power BI. And not only generating or developing a dashboard or reporting tools is sufficient. Okay, you need to good with transforming the data also. The data transformation also you can do it with the help of Power BI tool. In Power BI we have something called Power Query Editor. With the Power Query Editor you can do all kind of transformation. Now I just opened this Microsoft desktop. It takes some time. Let's wait for a few minutes. Yes, the Power BI desktop got open, but initially you will get a window like this. Here you can see some videos. These videos can be helpful in terms of understanding the basics of how to generate a dashboard or reports. What we do is I'm going to click the get data. You have an icon called, you have an icon like this, right? Get data is available in Power BI desktop. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to open an Excel sheet. My data is in retail store sales. I just opened it. It is being opened. So let's say I'm going to open 5 different sheets. These are the sheets that are available in my single Excel sheet. My Excel sheet name is Retail Store XLS. In this sheet, in this Excel, I have 8 sheets are there. The first 5 sheets, I am opening it because I know very well when I look at this data, I understood if I open or load these 5 sheets alone in my Power BI tool, that is sufficient for me to generate or create a dashboard or reports. So now these 2 sheets are being loaded into the Power BI memory or the system memory. Let us wait for a few minutes or few seconds. So on the right side you can see fields and visualization. Once the sheets or data get loaded in the Power BI, you can find the sheet name here. So the first sheet name was buyers, second is dates, managers, region, sales. When you expand this sheet, each sheet, you can find the column names here. And see, when you see on the left side, you will have a report icon. This is what currently we are in report canvas. Here we can use the visualization to generate whichever chart, or you can, if you want to plot any chart, or if you want to use any chart, you can use it here. And also we have the data icon is there. When you select this, you can find the content of these files. For example, if I wanted to view the data that are in this sheet, sales sheet, I can see it here. And when you look at regions, you can see the data in the regions. When you click the another icon here on the left side, this is called your model icon. So when you look at this, you can find out the tables that are used in your, or the sheets that are used in your Power BI desktop. It automatically deducts the relationship between these tables or the sheets. So when you look at the managers table and sales table, or nothing but the sheets, these two are connected via the postcode, and these two are connected by postcode. And the next one is, again you are connecting this one with postcode, hence it is not required, hence we are going to remove this relationship. Not only loading the data is sufficient in the Power BI desktop, you need to make sure that the relationship between each data sets are correctly established. So you have another sheet called dates. here the dates table or the sheet is standalone. It is not linked with any table. Since Power BI desktop work well with the relational data set or the model design, you need to specify the relationship between one table to another table using the column, key column. So here the date, and I have one second here we have another date column. So what I am going to do is I am going to drag and drop this one on this one. It will take some time. Yes, these two got connected with the date column. Good. Now we have defined the relationship correctly amongst these tables. Only after you make sure that the relationships are correctly defined here, then you can go ahead and work with the data set, or you start work with the visuals. For example, I am going to use this chart here. I am going to say okay, here it is not there. We don't have the sales here. What I am going to do is I am going to click the home ribbon. Sorry, not home ribbon, the transform data. This is where we do the data transformation. Whatever the data we have it, we will check if this data is sufficient, or do we have to remove any columns here. So it is pretty clear, all these columns are very much required for my analysis. Hence we don't have to remove any columns here. But for each column, on the left side of each column, you can find something like this calendar. It means it's a date data type, and this ABC is nothing but the text data type, and 1, 2, 3 is the number data type. This is also a text data type. Alright. So when you look at this one, the sale price is 1.2. That means the decimal data type. Similarly, this is also a decimal data type. So now what I am going to do is I am going to select add column, custom column. We are going to create a new column, because we know the sale price, we know the total units, we know the cost price, but we wanted to know the sales, total sales, something like that. Okay, here you take the sale price and star and total units. With this you can get sales. Yes, I got the sales. Now all I need is I need to know the cost also. Custom column, and here I am going to say cost, and here the cost price into total units. This gives me the cost price, and I am going to add one more column to get the gross profit. Here we know already we computed, or we created a new column, sales and cost columns. With these columns we can find out the gross profit. If you subtract the cost from the sales, we get to know the, okay, there is a mistake here, I did it intentionally here. One second. Yeah, see here. Okay, what I am going to do is I am going to remove this step. So I am going to redo it one more time. Here I am going to say gross profit. Here what you need to do is you need to select the sales here minus the cost. Earlier we did not use the square bracket. That is the reason why it was throwing an error. And when you right click on this gross profit text, you will find change data type here, change type. Here I am going to change it as a whole number, because I don't want to have the decimal values in the gross profit column. Hence I converted the data type to whole number. On the right side you can see applied steps. The recent change which I made in this data set is I included a new column called gross profit. In the gross profit we subtracted the cost from the sales, and also we changed the data type. Look here, we have added column custom 2 and we have added custom 1, and also added custom. So we have one custom column, second custom columns, right? So custom column 1, column 2, column 3, and also the data type we change it for the last column. Now we made whatever changes, whatever the new columns that we have created is still on the memory. We need to reflect them permanently on this memory. This data has to be stored permanently. Whatever the changes we made it, this one should get applied on the memory data, so that all these changes, including the 3 new columns, will get stored in the memory. So now what we do is, I just go to the sales. Okay, before that I'm going to select the KPI. So here what you can do is simply drag and drop the sales. This is sales, and you can go to the dates, and here you can take or date wise, right? Date wise, or okay, instead of doing date wise, what we can do is okay, instead of doing that, I'm going to do state wise. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select state, and I'm going to put it in the, not this one second, sorry, and okay, sales should come here, not here, sorry. I'm going to drag here the sales, and I'm going to drag the state here. So okay, now we will start with once again the KPI. I just want to, I'm going to use the KPI here, and for this I'm going to use the sales, and sales by date I wanted to plot this thing. It is not working well. It is not that, when I tried the date, it is not working. So what could be the reason? The one reason could be the sales column is not a it's not a proper data type. Look here, the sales is in a text data type. That is the reason you cannot plot it. See, one is the categorical variable, other one is the, or you need to plot in the case of KPI, we will be plotting the text as well, or number data type. So but here the sales is obviously a number data type, so decimal, wrongly it assigned the data type as text. And similarly we will see what is the data type assigned to them. Even for cost, assign the text, and cost also will make it text data type, sorry, the decimal number, and gross profit whole number, correct. So now what we do is we will go to home, and or instead we will go here, and we will go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the sales from this one. I'm going to drag and drop this one here, the sales, and date 3.18 M. Very good. So this is what my KPI, sales by date. And the next one is I'm going to use this chart. Here I'm going to use sales by state by chain. The chain column has two categories. One is ready wear and non-ready wear. So in this case the non-ready wear is called as billings. Okay, and the next one I'm going to use the line and stack the column chart. This is a very interesting chart, and here I am going to use sales and use something called measure, the GP measure. Look here, we have created a GP measure, but that is pointing to wrong table, and I am going to assign it to the sales table. What is this GP is all about? It is a measure. I created a new measure. When you double click on this one, you can see this one. Look here. sum of sales, so the gross profit divided by sales. So GP percentage, we can obtain it using this formula. I stored it in a variable called GP percentage. How did I create this? Go to measure tools, click new measure, and here you can create it. But once you create it, make sure that this measure is getting assigned to the correct table. So in this case it is a sale. So now what I am going to do is I am going to drag and drop the GP percentage here, and also gross profit by quarter. So I just need to do it in this one. So actually I need to have quarter wise, the axis quarter wise, and the column series. Actually this line value is supposed to be gross profit. I don't want the gross profit also to be a stacked one. So this line is nothing but my gross profit. So you need to drag and drop the gross profit in the line values, and sales is my sales by GP. Okay, sales by GP percentage is this one. Okay, so this one it shows GP percentage, and the next one is quarter. The quarter is, we just moved it on the shared axis. So here in the x-axis you have the quarter wise, year wise data, and here sales and GP percentage. Within this it shows all the things, but when you go to here format, you can enable the data label. When you enable the data label, you can find out the gross profit, and also when you expand this one, and if you see, you plot them in millions, it will be good. And you don't need a y-axis, because in this case the y-axis doesn't make any sense. I'm going to close this one. So sales by GDP percentage, and this is the one second, let me, GP percentage. Sales, GP percentage, and the gross profit. That is what we can see here. So what is this one? 10.4 m. This is my sales. And what is 5 m? 5 m. If you need to keep the cursor here. Okay, it is, one second, let me just, okay, if you hover the cursor here, so it shows the gross profit, and this is nothing but your sales and gross profit. You can see it here. And now I am going to move this up. Now this chart is ready. I will be moving this up, and the next one is the bubble chart. It's a very interesting one. So I am going to create a bubble chart with sales, and GP percentage, okay, the GP percentage, let us go and have a look at it. The GP percentage is sales, and the format it sales, and what I am going to do is, let it be there. This is a bubble chart. One second, on the bubble chart, let me use the impact bubble chart. Okay, let it be there. Okay, what we will do is, instead of using this one, I am going to use this one. The scatter chart itself we can do it. and quarter wise we can give it like this. So your x-axis is sales and y-axis is GP percentage, and what we are doing is here we have used, let us do one thing. I am going to use in the play axis, I am going to use quarter instead of here. Okay, let me do one thing. I just remove this one, and here in the play axis I am going to use quarter, and the next one is the legend. I am going to use category. Fine, we are all set. So next one is I am going to go here. I am going to select the shapes, and here shape is okay, good, and the only thing is the size of this one needs to be increased. The size is just 10 here. I'm going to increase the size of this one. Look here, now it looks pretty decent. Okay, and each circle represents the size of the sales. The bigger the size, more sales. And also each color represents a different, or each category. So this one is intimate. The intimate, the sale is, the gross profit is very high and the sale is also very high. And the shoes category, the sale is this one and the gross profit is this one. Where is the shoes? Yeah, you can scroll on the right side to find out this one. So this is kind of your bubble chart, and the beauty of this one is we can play the animation here. Fine. And if you think the size is way too high, you can reduce the size also. Yeah, and if you just pretty decent, now we are good. And we have the map is also available. Okay, but one problem is, right, so one thing is, okay, now you select it in the canvas. What I'm trying to say is, if you wanted to use a different usual for different to show different report or chart, unselect this one and then you need to select a different visual. But if you select by selecting this visual, and if you select any other visual by thinking that you are going to create different visual, then you are wrong. You need to deselect this one and then you can click any visuals. So now I want to, apart from this, I need to have the state-wise sales, the map. I want to get some kind of map view. This is my map. If you keep the cursor, hover the cursor here, it shows the sales. Okay, and similarly this is what my, one second, I'm going to reduce the size of it a little bit to make it good. So I'm going to reduce the size or height of on par with this one, and little bit I'm going to lift it. Next we can enable shadow, and even for this you can enable shadow. If you want it, you can enable shadow. This is a pretty simple dashboard, but we have used different types of charts, interesting charts. With this you would have you'd have understood how to plot, how to use different types of charts, and also we will discuss when to use what chart as part of the main training program. And you have the shadow here. Where is the shadow here? Yeah, I'm going to enable the shadow here even for this. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I don't need this big one, so I'm going to reduce the size in line with other thing also. Now it looks good, and I'm going to reduce the height of this one also. And I'm going to reduce the height of this one also. in line with this. Good. So now it looks pretty decent. And also you can change the colors of each bars, and even you can change the colors of these circles by going to the format thing. You can do it. So okay guys, it is getting late. With this I'm going to wrap up the session. And now you learned how to create a simple dashboard.